go down the list here. When did you see Halloween 2?
Actually, only a couple of years ago. I never really got around to it, which is kind of funny because the first one is honestly like one of my favorite films ever. It's probably like in my top 10. And I was just like, I'll get around to it. And then like decades went by, I never watched it. So a couple of years ago, I watched it with my wife, and yeah.
There you go. When did you first see it?
Oh, I don't know. I must have been a youngin'. Because my mother probably had this on television, like when it used to. I remember specifically that there's a Halloween 2 like promo TV ad when it debuted on television. Yeah, I don't think I was born yet, or maybe I had just been born. But I don't really know. The farthest back I can remember watching it was probably high school ish. I remember I watched a lot of the sequels before I saw the second one.
Okay, yeah. So
like Curse of Michael Myers, I've seen that before this.
That's a good point, because I think I actually saw H2O before too, which is weird to even say.
I was going to say, I really, really loved Halloween as a young kid. Yeah. One of the many movies my mom introduced me to. Apparently that's weirding people out.
My mother was the vessel for all the horror stuff for me as well. So it's not. I don't think it's strange.
I really loved Halloween 1. I had seen Halloween 6, but that's because it was the new one. So it played on cable or something. Yeah. Didn't know what was going on. I'm like, oh, you know, it probably makes more sense if I watch the others. Spoiler, it doesn't. Anyway. And then I remember me and my grandfather going to a rental store, and I saw Halloween 2. I'm like, I've never seen Halloween 2, and I want to watch all these sequels now. And I remember watching it and being like, holy shit, it picks up right where the other one left off. Now it's like one really long movie.
Yeah, there's this great cut floating around that's like the unabridged Halloween.
Oh, kind of like The Godfather.
It just keeps going.
And it's seamless. You know, Michael's eye grows back, totally his mask. Do they explain how his mask gets yellow?
No, it must have been that grass, you know? He rolled over when he got up.
Do you know what the real reason is?
Wasn't it like under a bed?
Deborah Hill had it in her house, and she was like a smoker, so it got like nicotine stain. That was what I read. That's what I read.
Imagine smoking in your house.
That was like a thing that, do you not remember early 90s?
No, I remember because my old man used to smoke in the house, but like... I couldn't imagine even like when I was a smoker smoking in the house, because then the whole fucking house stinks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't even notice it after a while.
Yeah, you don't even notice it after a while.
Blind, yeah.
God, I had an aunt, her house, it just reeked. But anyway, so Halloween 2, what are your thoughts on this film? I remember really loving this film. I was like, oh man, this is the best sequel, picks up where it left off. You got everyone's back, they're all back. Michael Myers, he's a robot now.
The beginning of the problems I have with this series, by the way.
You got a problem with my good friend Dick Warlock?
Dick Warlock's great in the movie. He's not the problem with 2 for me.
Just to clarify, we're not talking about like a D&D character who's like a penis mancer.
Right.
Dick Warlock.
I've seen there was like a meme a while back. They're like penis wizard Dick Warlock.
Oh my god.
Yes. So basically, Michael, he got shot. By the way,
6 times.
By the way,
I shot him 6 times. He says it so many times in the beginning.
We kind of screwed up because in the first Halloween, he does shoot him 6 times. I was misremembering the beginning of this movie where he shoots him 7 times.
Correct.
Okay. But our parody made fun of the other sequel, so why not?
Sure.
Yes, it is pretty funny. You hear the 7 shots, and now they show like the outside of Michael falling. Yeah. Because I guess they wanted like a cooler shot. Remember, this is now like being funded by like Universal. Mm-hmm. So there's money in this one.
Yeah, they went, oh, Halloween? You made $1 bajillion?
Yeah. Made a lot of money. This one's really real. It looks nicer. It's shot mostly on stages. It looks cleaner.
Still cinematography by Dean Cundy, though.
Still by Dean Cundy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why out of all the sequels, this will always feel the most organic, even if I'm not as crazy about it as
I'll be honest, I didn't even know till you just said that it was shot on stages. Like, so bravo to their effects department.
But I like Michael falling out of the thing. Like, now there's like supposedly a ramp that he's just walking behind and falling off. It's like, what was that ramp?
Because if you... The mechanics of that is if you fall backward, it's like that Bernie Lomax thing, dude. When the stunt guy, when they threw him over the front of the fence, or the where they dump him over the edge, you need to jump over it. If you fall right there, you're gonna get really hurt, like really bad.
Yeah, it is pretty funny in the first.
He has to like go up
in the first Halloween.
From it.
He's shot and then he turns around and then the camera cuts. Suddenly his back is facing and you can tell he climbed up onto the thing to fall off of it. He's a real drama queen, that guy. So It has a really good opening POV of Michael going around town. We see the Elrods, which are referenced in the first movie.
Yes. And in 2018, which we'll get to.
And 2018, he scares Mrs. Elrod.
He's going to take a bite of that sandwich, I think.
He's going to take a bite of that sandwich.
Yeah.
You want mustard or mayo?
Well, by the way, how late is it?
I don't know.
It's a midnight snack. Dude.
I guess.
Yeah.
Halloween night, she's tired of giving out all the candy. She's making a snack for fucking Herb or whatever his name is inside.
Yeah. And then Michael, I guess, goes next door and kills some lady, some teenager.
She called the cops on him.
She did.
Right.
She did.
Right.
He's like, you fucking narc.
Well, he's also got to get his new butcher knife. That's the other thing.
Yeah, he literally went there to get the knife. I don't know why he didn't kill the old people. I guess
you don't ever see it. Maybe he did.
Well, I guess remember, Michael, what his MO is supposed to be is like he likes killing young women who are alone. He likes stalking and killing young women or teenagers.
Yeah.
He will kill other people when necessary.
If they get in his way.
Like in the first movie, he needed that jumpsuit, so he killed that older mechanic.
Right.
Sorry, I got to do this.
Yeah, but now Michael's mission is I need to kill Laurie Strode, who is at the hospital. What do you think of Jamie Lee Curtis in this film, Sean?
Like you said, it feels like she doesn't want to be there. But with that said, she's still great in it.
Yeah.
Especially like the last half hour when she's actually in peril. It's like, all right, this is what I was waiting for the whole movie. She's good.
She's fine.
Not her best performance, but it's fine.
The script didn't really give her a lot to do.
Literally nothing. She's in a daze most of the movie.
Yeah. They try to give like this little bit of a romance with the Jimmy guy.
Yeah, Lance Guest.
And a lot of it is cut out. It's in the TV version. A lot of that is cut out, so it just feels weird in the theatrical cut.
I don't mind it because they could have known each other from somewhere else. Like
I think they do know each other previously. They're aware of each other, but then he's just like, I suddenly love her now. It's like, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Horror movie trope, honestly.
I always wanted to ask her out, but I never got the chance. So I guess I'm going to do it when she's in the hospital after a murderer just killed all her friends.
Well,
and now she's traumatized.
He found out that the guy that liked her, Ben Tramer's dead.
Well,
so he's like, I'm going to get in there.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
They really felt the need to bring back things you kind of remember from the first one. So it's like Loomis sees a guy dressed.
There he is. He's over
Ben,
there.
Ben Tramer.
But the hair's different. It's like yellow.
Ben Tramer.
Fucking Ben Tramer, who is supposed to be shit-faced, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, so Ben Tramer is just like, you know what? I'm going to wear my mechanic overalls for Halloween, and let me go to the store. They got this cool white mask. Do they have the brown hair one? And the guy goes, no, that was stolen earlier. He's like, I'll settle for the blonde one. And he's like, what is your costume? He's like, I don't know, I'm a creepy pale mechanic. It'll be so original and fresh. Not knowing that Michael Myers also came up with the same costume.
Yes. Right.
It's like when you go to the prom and there's a lady wearing the same dress.
Wow.
I know. I figured too. I was thinking about it. I was like, besides Tommy Doyle and the little girl, nobody knows what Michael Myers looks like, what his getup is. It's just Loomis and Laurie.
Well, right.
Those are the only
Loomis
two
probably
looks like
told the cops afterwards.
He's in a mask. He's in a Halloween costume.
Have you ever seen Star Trek? He looks like the guy from Star Trek.
You know that guy from Twilight Zone? He's there.
The hair's a little different. It's a little paler, but it's him.
There he is, Sheriff.
Oh, you weren't kidding. Hi.
Yeah, William Shatner. He likes to hang out over.
Ben Tramer, and then the fucking cop who said I didn't see him.
By the way, so what was in the van?
C4, dynamite, I don't know.
You see, what we don't know is that there were terrorists in Haddonfield.
Oh, okay.
And they were getting ready to blow up something in Haddonfield, and that was their van?
That was the van that was going after Doc Brown.
Yes, it was the Libyans, right?
The plutonium?
Yeah.
They were like,
they obtained it, and that was what happened.
Yeah,
they were into him.
They were like,
fucking
let's park
plutonium
here.
exploded.
They were on their way to Hill Valley. They're like, let's stop in Haddonfield, Illinois, because it's also Haddonfield, Illinois is also in California. Yeah. So they stopped there, and then little did they know, a cop was going to crash into their plutonium van.
That scene's crazy too, because like I don't know how deep you want to get into like the characters in this, but like Loomis, I feel like
Loomis is insane.
He is insane in this, and
he's got the adrenaline rush.
He's got some really great moments in this, but overall, I think they make him a little too crazy compared to the first one. But it's like he's in the street with the fucking revolver, like trying to blow this guy away. He's not even like confirming.
He's not a cop. He's not a cop.
Well, first of all, I have a permit, Sheriff. And second of all,
would you put that thing away?
He keeps yelling at Ben Tramer. He's like, "Stop! Stop! Turn around! Stop!" And then Ben Tramer just keeps walking away.
You've worn this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
What'd you say? What?
And he's drunk. He's like, who's that guy yelling at? He's looking around and like, I'm gonna go across the street.
Was this cop in the car like sucking his own dick while he was driving?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like how did he?
It was like a thinner situation.
He came out of nowhere. I didn't see him, and I'm like, dude, there was plenty of time to stop.
No, my favorite thing about that is when Ben Tramer's hit the wide shot, he collapses onto the hood of the car, and then it cuts, and he's back up against the van,
and he's burning alive. And they're like, "Is that him? Is that him?" And Loomis is like, "I'm not sure."
They're sitting there, and they're like, "Oh man, what's going on?" And then another cop comes, like, "Hey, Sheriff, your daughter died." And they're like, "Oh, I care way more about that." Wow. And they're like, all of them leave. I think all the cops leave, except for maybe one. Yeah. But poor Ben Tramer. Yeah. Lori just wanted to ask him out on a nice date. Or wanted him to ask her out on a date. Yeah. He's getting drunk, being like, "Me and Lori tomorrow at the dance." Ooh.
Well, Annie had just called him too. You think he went out? It's celebratory. He's getting drunk. He's like, "I got a date with Laurie Strode."
I'm shocked.
The girl with the best hair in the neighborhood.
Imagine if he didn't die and showed up to her door dressed as fucking Michael Myers
and then get shot.
No, but and she freaks out and stabs him or something.
Well, I know you haven't seen Kills yet, but I think it's implied in the new continuity he was one of Laurie's husbands that she divorced. Oh. I think that's implied.
Why you gotta throw that wrinkle in there, right?
No, why not?
It's the George Lucas shit, man. This movie does it too.
I guess.
Why not?
I mean, honestly, a bigger thing that this movie does a lot is stuff that's convenient for the plot, like the Ben Tramer thing, or when that guy's walking around with the boombox and Michael's just happens to be walking around.
Yeah,
I love that shot, by the way.
That was an added scene. Yeah. Oh shit, I should have wrote it down.
Which one?
There was a thing where they needed to get Michael to the hospital and they couldn't figure out how, and there was a different way he got to the hospital originally.
I love the way they chose for the theatrical version.
Yeah, it's a good scene. I think they added that scene afterwards where the kid bumps into him and it's like Laurie Strode. By the way, the quickest news report ever.
Dude, I love
everything. Just happened an hour ago.
It was 6 reporters out there.
Every time you hear somebody talking about the case, they're like, and then Dr. Samuel Loomis shot him 6 times. Yeah. Every time you hear it or see it, it's 6 times, 6 times.
But all the cops are arguing with him. Are you sure you didn't miss? Are you sure?
Well, again, according to Halloween Kills, I said it
He's not human!
In my Halloween Kills review, because in the flashback scene, you don't see any bullet holes. I'm like, I think Loomis missed, and Michael, to fuck with him, was just reacting.
Oh my god.
But yes, Michael in this, he is even more powerful than he was before.
He sure is.
And he just needs to kill Laurie Strode because this is where they introduce that she is his sister.
Can we clear this up real quick?
Yeah.
Now, you told me, because I always thought it was just from this movie.
It is just from this movie.
Oh, I thought you told me that they shot extra inserts for the television version of Halloween, the first one.
But while they were shooting this movie.
Oh, gotcha.
The first movie, it is not his sister.
Yes, that's what I thought.
The made-for-TV version, it's implied that somehow Michael found out he had a sister because he writes sister on his little cell before he leaves.
Oh, okay.
But that was added because the TV version, they needed to add more time because they were cutting out some of the kills and whatnot.
Yeah.
So while they were doing Halloween 2, that's why there's a scene where Lori and PJ Souls and all are talking, and Lori's got her head wrapped up like she came out of a shower, but it's just because they didn't have the wig, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's what it is. That I said that's why a lot of people I think have false memories that she's his sister in the first one because the TV version implies it more.
Yeah, because I was saying that's totally not a thing until the second movie.
It's not a thing until the second movie. But it is in this, and then it's a little confused. It's real convoluted.
Dude, it feels like an insert shot.
Yeah, but the way they explain it, I can believe it better than him walking around and those insert shots with the sister shit.
Well,
yeah, I don't like that where it's implied he went to the school, broke into the school to write Sam Hain. I know it's actually pronounced Samhain.
Samhain, yeah.
And then he drew a picture and then stabbed the picture. It's when did he have time to do that?
I don't know. Did he draw the picture or did he just find it on the desk?
Grabbed the picture. We're why did he have time to do that?
It's a devil's night, Tony. He's Samhain. That's what it means. It means death.
It is just hilarious to me. I guess I'll just say this now because it's my feeling about the series in general. Is that after the first one, they just said, okay, have you ever seen Friday the 13th? Because now he's Jason. He's fucking Jason in this movie. And it gets like crazier as the series goes on, like how strong he is.
This is 1981, so the first Friday the 13th had come out.
Yeah, it did. Came out the year before.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there were also other slashers that were emerging.
I mean, the Burning comes out in 1980.
Yeah.
I think Prom Night might already be out.
Yes.
Prowler out by then?
Prowler's 1980 as well? No, 82?
Oh, so right after.
That's afterwards.
So
there was an emergence of slasher films.
Right, well, that's the point, yeah.
And Halloween did really well, so Universal Brothers like, pump out another slasher, baby. Get them more people to kill. Make them even harder to kill.
Sure.
Well, that was the whole thing about the they're like, oh, we got to bring him back. Well, how does he come back? It's so ambiguous at the end of that first movie. You're like, fuck, that was creepy as hell. And now it's like, no, shit. Now we got to explain it.
Well, like the thing, it's like
they don't explain it. He's just
kind of.
Oh yeah, because it's like he's the shape, and it's like okay, there is some kind of supernatural element, even if it doesn't really pan out. Or I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
So just an aside. That's why I think the producer's cut of 6 was so good because they tie that kind of back to this. With the whole Samhain and the
Cult of Thorn and
they
all that.
try.
Which was, I thought,
I'll give them points
if you
for
were
trying.
going to do it and you needed a sequel, that's a way to do it. But anyway.
But so a lot of it takes place in the hospital. The darkest hospital ever.
Dude, it's lit so good. It's fucking awesome.
The power gets shut off, to be fair.
It does.
I'm saying, like, it's very spooky.
Well, the phones get cut. I think in the TV version, they actually show the lights going off. And I think in the theatrical cut, they're just off
happens.
at one point.
Yeah.
There's some stuff the TV cut had that should have been in the movie because I was telling him, like, when Laurie is, like, catatonic toward the end and, like, freaking out, like, they cut out a scene where, like, she was... I guess one of her dreams was freaking her out, so they gave her more sedatives. And that's why she's like real spaced out at the end.
Right. Well, before you move away from that, I don't want to forget this about the sister stuff and the dream.
Yeah.
Because she has that dream, specifically...
That's sleepaway camp-ass dream.
Right, where she's like visiting Michael as a kid in the insane asylum, and it's just, you have to kind of just pick up on it as a viewer. She never really goes into it past that point.
Yeah. But I like the mom being like, I'm not your mom.
I told you. I'm not your mother.
Like,
I already told you. You're not.
But that might have confused some people.
I didn't like that.
They might have confused some people. So in the TV version, they have what sounds like a little boy or a man pretending to be a little girl going, "Don't kill me, Michael. I'm your sister." They like make sure to add that in.
Yikes.
But yeah, Halloween 2, here's the thing. Like,
it's got good kills.
It's got some good kills.
This movie wasn't supposed to be made.
Yeah, I do like like Dick Warlock. I really like Dick Warlock.
He's the best shape, in my opinion.
He plays it a little too much like a robot.
He's death incarnate, Tori.
But it doesn't match the previous Michael.
Well,
like
that's my point.
Unless you're like, well, he was shot and fell out of he probably broke his back, and that's why he's like, oh my god,
well,
rigor mortis.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts.
Yeah.
I will say I met the guy who played Bud and the nurse, Pamela Susan Shoop, and I got their autograph.
Amazing Grace, come sit on my face.
Yes.
Eat some of that pie or something, he says?
It's censored in the TV version.
Oh, really?
This DVD release, this Good Times DVD release, and I think we have the Good Times tape there.
The Good Times.
So that's a picture of Michael from the first movie.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then in the back, we have a picture of Michael's mask from the 6th movie.
Weird.
Like this stupid font. This is like the worst thing. It's widescreen, but it's fake widescreen. So it's like 4:3 with the bars on.
I hate that.
Which is fine if you're watching it on a 4:3 TV.
Yeah.
But when I popped this in a few years ago, I was like, oof, this looks rough. And that's why I now got the Shout Factory 4K release.
Beautiful.
Yes. I still enjoy this movie, but as I got older, I realized like I started falling out of love with a lot of the sequels. Halloween was my favorite franchise initially. Like horror franchise was my favorite. And then as I got older, I'm like, all right, well that one's pretty, but that one's good. And then I keep going back. And then I get to Halloween 2 and I'm like, that's pretty stupid.
If you watch these in succession, like one right after the other, it's like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And the last time I had watched this, I did that.
Yeah.
I went back to it and I watched this in succession with the films that we're talking about today, and I'm like, this is pretty good.
Well, and that's the thing when you start to get past like 4, 5, 6, and so on. It's like, wow, diminishing returns big time. But I like this one. It's just I just don't like how it sets up the character for the rest of the franchise. And then I guess people could argue that there's only one movie where he's kind of human, and the rest he's a superpower kind of character.
This one should be fucking dead in this movie.
Yeah, they really like John Carpenter killed him at the end.
Yeah, he was
and Loomis.
Yeah,
this is before Mustafa Akkad did his rule about how you can't kill Michael, which caused a lot of grief for Jamie Lee Curtis years later when she was doing H2O.
Yeah, well, there's 9 fucking Friday the 13th movies, and they're making bank, baby.
Yeah.
Wow. They did the smart thing. They just turned into a fucking zombie at some point.
Yeah. But
It allowed for that.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so John Carpenter just killed him. He's like, I don't want to do another one of these. He's dead. Loomis is dead. Michael's dead. Now it's a little confusing. I've always been confused by the ending of this film. So they blow up that room full of gas, and then like I know Loomis is dead. He got stabbed and he blew up, and Michael blew up. But then it just cuts to like a completely different character in a fire suit coming out of that room. Now, was he in that room in the fire-resistant suit?
He could have been. He slipped it on right before Loomis lit that lighter.
Yeah, he must have been hiding from Michael Myers.
Yes,
and like just hiding. He's like, oh no, they're gonna blow up the room. Let me put my fire-resistant suit on.
Yeah, and then he grabbed his mask and threw it on his head before the fire hit him.
Yeah,
I don't have he had a bodysuit but no protection for his head.
Yeah,
put it on.
That's what got him in the end, because he was definitely wearing a very thick fire-resistant suit that looks nothing like Michael Myers.
Ben Tramer should have got one of those.
Yeah, and he tries to make his way down the hallway and he collapses. Now, what he should have done is he could have just burst through the wall to the left, because when you look after the explosion, the whole wall moves a little bit, and then you see pieces of board propping up the other wall as if it were a set, and the camera caught the set moving after the explosion, revealing a set. But maybe that's just the way the hospital is.
Could be.
So very, very confusing. Michael Loomis died. They cut to that weird third guy in the fire suit falling over.
I don't know.
It's very bizarre. And then Dana Carvey shows up.
Wow, right.
Real quick, I love when Loomis turns Australian for about 2 seconds. and he's like, go now! Now!
Oh my God.
Yeah, now.
You know what he should have done, though? The guy in the fire suit should have found that, like, therapeutic bathtub that they're trying to fuck in earlier.
Like got Penelope Ann Miller in The Relic.
How does Pamela Susan Shoop's poor face get all melted and then Michael's hand's fine?
I was thinking the exact same thing, but...
They should be burnt to a fucking crisp.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about the scalding water?
Yeah. No, you're right about
like
this.
A bone.
If we factor in Halloween 4, you're right about the second thing. Or Halloween H2O, where he has no burns whatsoever.
Or was it 4 or 5 when they dropped the dynamite on him in the well and he
That was
somehow
4.
survives?
No. 4 is where they shoot him, and then when they did 5, they added the scene of them throwing dynamite.
Right, and then wow.
What is it with these movies adding something to the previous recap?
Oh, well, that's like, especially if you're making the sequel where he's not supposed to be dead.
Yeah. So Halloween 2, it's decent but unnecessary.
It's fine.
You could tell they weren't really into it. Especially John Carpenter. I do love the music.
Oh, the music's great.
The music's good. It's like a beefed up version of the first.
Yeah,
one.
I love this super synth version of the score. It starts off pretty well with
John was like, all right, Alan, move over.
It starts off pretty well with you don't know what death is. It's got some moments in it, and they have kept some ideas from this for later movies, even the most recent ones. The Halloween Kills, they used the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital logo from this movie,
which is cool. And like, there's a lot of shots from this that are indicative of the 2018 one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and then
when he comes back.
Well, also because Brackett comes back in the Halloween Kills, and they show the flashback of him finding his daughter, and even though if it's not in continuity, like they could still use that footage because we have this footage of Brackett and his daughter. Like it doesn't have he technically would have seen his daughter, so
it's
I like how
powerful scene too.
Yeah, except for I love Nancy Keys, right? That's her name, Nancy Keys. So. It used to be Nancy Loomis, I think. I think she does flick her eyes a little bit in that scene. So, but those could be post-death nerves or whatever.
The twitch, the deathgasms.
So yes, Halloween 2. Led to a big... That's what made Halloween a franchise. Halloween 3 derailed that a little bit, and they brought it back. Now there's another Halloween 2.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.